Morning, children. We had completed the first two classes of fungal kingdom, and we started with the third one, that is basidiomycetes. So today we will learn more about basidiomycetes. Only the introduction we had completed, the basic structures we discussed. Now we have to learn more about the methods of reproduction in basidiomycetes. I hope you are thorough with the first two classes. It can be confusing, as I told you. You are learning about different type of spores for each class. So see, make some mnemonics or try your own tricks so that you will not get confused between these different spores or method of reproduction or mycelium and all the names. Okay, so hope you are doing that even without me saying. So let me know what have you learned or whether you have revised. Phycomycetes, its mycelium is unique, I told, when compared to the other three classes of fungus or fungal kingdom. The mycelium found in first one, Phycomycetes, is unique. How is it unique, Malavika? What is special about the mycelium in Phycomycetes?
It is acetate and cenocytic.
Cenocytic. What do you mean by cenocytic and acetate?
They don't have cross walls.
They don't. Acetate means no cross walls, which makes it multinucleated. Okay. Now, what do you call, or what are the asexual spores present in Phycomycetes? Michael, asexual spores in Phycomycetes.
Zoospores and planospores.
Is there any difference between both?
One is motile and one is non-motile.
Which one is motile?
Zoospores.
Okay. Okay, thank you. And then we learned about the sexual spores also. Neonasnin. Tell me the name of the sexual spores. And I gave you a mnemonic, or I told you how to remember, a trick to remember both. Which one is Nia? Nia, are you there? Your video is also off. We had Naureen. Okay, Naureen, I'll come back to you, Nia. I will not spare you anyway. Naureen?
Zygospores.
Zygospores, they are the sexual spores. Okay. Rhizopus, or the common bread mold, it belongs to which class of fungus? Alvin, the bread mold or Rhizopus, which is very familiar. It belongs to which class? Out of the three classes we learned, it belongs to which one?
Phycomycetes.
Okay. Now, the second one we learned was Ascomycetes. So, what are ascocarps? Punya, what are ascocarps?
Bodies on which the spores and the ascus is formed.
These are the fruiting bodies on which several asci will be produced, sac-like asci will be produced, and inside that ascospores. What are these ascospores? It carries out which mode of reproduction?
Sexual mode.
Sexual reproduction is carried out by ascospores. Okay, now we will move on to basidiomycetes in detail. And Nia, are you there back, or her connectivity is gone? Nia, not there? Yeah, connectivity went. Okay, now let us continue. Children, if you feel I'm going fast or my pace is not okay for you, let me know. So basidiomycetes, already we started with the general features. As I told you, it includes mushrooms, bracket fungi, and puffballs. Hope you remember the picture I had shown you. They grow in soil, and you can find them on tree branches or tree logs of wood or tree branches, and even in living plant bodies. They are found even inside the plant bodies, leading a parasitic life. Example, rust and smut. And then we learned about their mycelium. I told that remaining, except the first one, all the others are having the same type. The mycelium is branched and septate. Septate means they are having cross walls, and the mycelium forms a branch network of hyphae. The asexual spores are absent, but they carry out asexual reproduction by means of vegetative propagation, that is fragmentation. We learned there are three types of reproduction: vegetative propagation, fission, budding, all that we learned, fragmentation. So this particular class, they carries out asexual reproduction or vegetative reproduction by means of fragmentation, but spores are absent to carry out asexual reproduction. And pictures you saw, the first one, mushrooms, then next one is bracket fungi, it looks like brackets, and the last one is puff balls, it looks like that puff. Okay, that because of the peculiarity in the shape they are named so. Now moving on to sexual reproduction. Here sex organs are absent, but an important step which we discussed when we were dealing with the different stages in sexual reproduction: plasmogamy, karyogamy, and also meiotic division or meiotic division we learned. So plasmogamy is a fusion of protoplasm between two gametes. It can be motile or non-motile, but here sex organs are absent. But still, plasmogamy, the first step in sexual reproduction, takes place by the fusion of two vegetative cells. So two vegetative cells or two body cells, two somatic cells, they'll come, they'll fuse together and result in plasmogamy. And there itself, when you were learning about plasmogamy or the different stages in sexual reproduction, hope you're remembering about a special stage I told, dikaryon, dikaryotic phase. Okay? Are you remembering? Vidur, tell me, what do you mean by dikaryon? What is special about dikaryon? Karyon means nucleus, dikaryon. We learned it in steps in sexual reproduction. Are you remembering, Vidur? Vidur, yes or no? No. When you are silent, I think I should understand you don't know. Okay, I'll come back to you. Sania, can you?
Ma'am, when the two
Nuclei.
haploid cells fuse, they just remain as N plus N. They don't become diploid.
Their nuclei are not fusing. They remain as two different nuclei. So we call it as N plus N or dikaryon, two nucleus in the same cell. But later they will fuse, resulting in the formation of a zygote. Okay? And becomes diploid or 2N. When they are not fusing, they are remaining separate, you call it as N plus N. Vidur, what was that? Didn't listen, no? What is dikaryon? When do you say that? You tell in terms of the alphabet. Oh, yes.
N plus N 2 and then they remain as diploid.
It's not diploid stage. So before, in between the fusion of the nuclei or two nuclei, like two gametes are fusing, their nuclei will come together and these two nuclei should fuse together to form a zygote. But there is a stage in between these and they remain as N plus N for a while. That is known as dikaryon, but later they'll fuse together and form 2N. So there itself we had mentioned that in ascomycetes and basidiomycetes, this dikaryotic stage is present. Hope you are remembering that. So here, soon after the fusion of these two vegetative cells, it will lead to a dikaryotic phase, N plus N phase. And later, this dikaryon will produce structure known as basidium. It will give rise to basidium and basidia plural. Basidium and basidia. Okay. So once this dikaryon is formed, it will give rise to the structure known as basidium. And later, inside this basidium, karyogamy means fusion of nucleus. It is remaining as N plus N. But later, after the formation of basidium, inside the basidium, those nuclei will fuse together. And once the nuclei, karyogamy is completed, next stage is meiotic division. So karyogamy and meiosis takes place, resulting in the formation of basidiospores, and these spores are formed exogenously on the outer side. Outer surface it is being formed. And these basidium, they are arranged on, so basidium, they'll be arranged on certain structures known as basidiocarps. Basidiocarps. Basidia will be formed when the two nuclei or when or followed by plasmogamy, there will be a dikaryotic phase. That dikaryon will produce basidium. And basidium, inside the basidium, karyogamy, that is, it was remaining as N plus N, that fusion gets completed, then meiotic division takes place and result in the formation of 4 spores. We learned karyogamy is followed by meiotic division. So meiotic division takes place resulting in the formation of 4 basidiospores. All these are happening inside basidium. And basidium are arranged on basidiocarp. Basidiocarp is the name of the fruiting body over here. Okay. Once again, I will repeat. Basidiocarp, basidium, basidiospore. Okay. So here, if you take the case of mushroom, this entire thing you can call as basidiocarp, and here this basidium is present, and inside you have basidiospores. So the entire structure, that what you see, that is known as basidiocarp, and here they are, basidium are arranged on here. Basidium will be arranged, and inside the basidium, basidiospores will be produced by reduction division. Other name for reduction division is meiosis. We have mitosis and meiosis. In meiosis, chromosome number becomes half, reduction division. Okay. Once again, basidiocarp, arranged on basidiocarp, basidium. Inside basidium, basidiospores. Just 1 minute. I'll just write over here. Okay. So what I said, basidiocarp. And arranged on the basidiocarp, what do we have? Several basidia. Basidium is singular, okay? So basidium will be arranged on basidiocarp, and inside the basidium, what happens? Meiotic division will happen or reduction division will happen, and basidiospores. 4 will be produced in each. Basidiospores will be produced. Ascocarp, ascus, ascospores. Similar to that here, basidiocarp, basidium, basidiospores. Okay. Basidium is N plus N. Shall I remove it? I'll erase it. Hope you have understood. Children, I am repeating again. When you find so many difficult names, please don't avoid or skip that. Please don't skip it. Make it a point to learn daily lessons. Otherwise, I'm repeating again, you will land in trouble. I'm going this part. So since this part is a little confusing and includes more terms, I'm going very slowly with this. Okay, when easy topics come, I'll just increase my pace. But now I'm going very slowly. I want you to learn in the class itself. As far as possible, at least 70% you learn here. That's why I keep repeating. Otherwise, I can just tell once and rush fast. But rather than completing the portion, I'm going slowly so that you get a base on all these. Okay. And then the next point, basidia are arranged in fruiting bodies known as basidiocarps. And examples are given here. Agaricus, the common mushroom. Then ustilago, otherwise known as smut, it causes smut disease. Then Puccinia, it is a rust fungus, it causes rust, the disease rust in cereal crops. So Puccinia, ustilago, and agaricus. Agaricus, the common mushroom. Okay, so these are the common examples, so familiar examples of fungus coming under, fungi coming under this particular class, Basidiomycetes. I'll repeat again, sex organs are absent here, but plasmogamy, the first stage in sexual reproduction, will take place by the fusion of vegetative cells. But plasmogamy will lead to, immediately it is not forming a diploid zygote. Instead, it will form a dikaryotic phase. This dikaryotic phase is known as basidium. And inside the basidium, karyogamy will be completed and meiosis, the third step, meiosis will happen and result in the formation of 4 basidiospores. These spores are produced exogenously. And then I told you that these basidium, they are arranged on basidiocarps. Basidiocarp arranged on that basidium, and inside basidium, basidiospores. And examples, agaricus, stillago, and puccinia. Yes. So shall we move on to the next one, children? Yes. And if you want to see the figure of basidium, okay, somewhat like this it looks, structure of a basidium, and here you can see basidiospores arranged. That is why we call it as exogenous production. These are the spores, basidiospores. Basidiospores, and this one is basidium. Okay, or it can be, depending upon the species, it can be different shapes also, like basidiospores can be produced on that. Okay, children. Now moving on to deuteromycetes. Deuteromycetes is unique when compared to the other three. You call them as imperfect fungi. And here the sexual phase is absent. Sexual phase is absent, or you can say only asexual and vegetative phases are known to us. As of now, we know only about the asexual and vegetative phases. So far, no sexual phase is shown by this class of fungi. And in case if some sexual stages are discovered, then they will be grouped into ascomycetes or basidiomycetes. So this one, the speciality is that this particular class does not carry out sexual reproduction. And if any of the fungi or any member under this particular class shows sexual reproduction, if it is found out newly, they will be removed or they will be categorized either into ascomycetes or basidiomycetes. And you call this particular class as imperfect fungi. It is because only their asexual and sexual phases are identified, and so far no sexual phases are included or no sexual phases are seen or identified. And in case of some species, some stages are spotted also, those will be, or those species will be shifted to ascomycetes or basidiomycetes. And some examples you can see here: Alternaria, Coletotrichum, and Trichoderma. Trichoderma, Coletotrichum, and Alternaria. These are some familiar, some common examples of deuteromycetes. They reproduce only by asexual spores, same as what we saw in the second one, ascomycetes. Conidia. Conidia are the asexual spores in deuteromycetes also. It is also found in ascomycetes. Mycelium. Hope you remember what I told. Here also mycelium is septate and branched. And some of them, they lead a parasitic life, whereas some are saprophytes. Definition of both, you know. Saprophytes means they feed on dead and decaying organic matter. Then majority of them will act as decomposers. They help in breaking down the complex substances present in dead plants and animals into simpler particles. And since they act as decomposers, they play an important role in mineral cycling. That means, you know that minerals never escape from the atmosphere or from the Earth's surface. It keeps on, we have learned about biogeochemical cycles. So these nutrients keep cycling between bio and geo, which means living and non-living components, they keep on cycling. It never escapes like energy. So since these are converting the complex substances present in plant and animal waste back to simpler components. Those simpler components will be added to the soil. From the soil again plants will absorb, and from plants animals will get it. And when they die and decompose, again by the action of decomposers, these nutrients will come back to the soil. So the minerals keeps on, or these minerals keep on recycling. That is why we say they play a very important role in mineral cycling. Examples we already discussed. So that was about deuteromycetes. Okay, any doubt, children? Any doubt? Was it confusing? You can be frank. Was it confusing?
Ma'am, could you please repeat?
Which one? Which one you want me to repeat?
Deuteromycetes.
Deuteromycetes. So deuteromycetes, you call it as, that group itself, that class we call it as imperfect fungi. We call it imperfect fungi because they have only vegetative or asexual phase. Sexual phase is not included, or any organism or any fungal group, if they show some sexual stages, they will be shifted to Ascomycetes or Basidiomycetes. So in this group only vegetative or asexual phases are present. That is why we call it as imperfect fungi. So that was the main point about Deuteromycetes we discussed, and then we learned few examples: Alternaria, then Colletotrichium and Trichoderma. Then we discussed about its mycelium, just like the other two classes which we already discussed. They are having septate, branched and septate mycelium. Then about their mode of nutrition, they are saprophytic and some of them are parasitic, and some function as decomposers. So since they function as decomposers, they'll help in breaking down the complex substances present in dead plants and animals back into simpler components, and they will add it to the soil. From there plants will absorb, and from plants animals also get a share, and when both plants and animals die, again the decomposers bring it back to the soil. So since they act as decomposers, they play a very important role in the cycling of minerals. Okay, unlike energy, minerals never escape. They keep on recycling between the living and non-living components of the earth's surface. Okay, only that we said, no? Only these are the points. Meenakshi, is it clear? Is that clear, Meenakshi?
Yes, ma'am.
Any point to be clarified?
No.
No. Okay. So, which class of fungi asexual spores are absent? Naureen, asexual spores are absent in which class? Hear the question carefully. Asexual spores are absent in this particular class.
Basidiomycetes.
Yes, good. Basidiomycetes. Nia, are you there? Nia, I think in between she's joining. I think she's having some connectivity problem. Okay, she's not there. Then we learned about the vegetative propagation taking place in Basidiomycetes. Which mode of vegetative propagation is found there? Evelyn, which mode of vegetative propagation is found in Basidiomycetes?
Fragmentation.
Okay, fragmentation. Then we learned about Deuteromycetes, and we said that they are known as imperfect fungi. Nevin, why do you call them as imperfect fungi? Why do you call the class Deuteromycetes as imperfect fungi?
They're
Ah.
sexually, they only do asexual. We didn't find out about if it reproduces
No
sexually.
no clarity in what you're saying. Repeat once again. What is absent over there? Partially correct. You
They
said
only reproduce asexually. We haven't found out that they reproduce.
yes, so only sexual phases are not
I
identified.
can hear.
And if asexual method or vegetative methods are found, but they haven't shown any sexual phase. That is why we call it as imperfect fungi. Even in case if some are identified with sexual phase, it will be shifted to Basidiomycetes or Ascomycetes. Any doubts regarding the four different classes? And what is the name of the spores, asexual spores found in Deuteromycetes? Vidur? And I related with the asexual spores found in another class when I said about
Ma'am.
that. I told this is found in
Conidia.
another. Ah, yes, conidia. Search somewhere, no?
Conidia.
Or you recollected and told? Anyways, I got the answer. So, shall we continue? No doubts, no? No, sure, no? All are shaking head. Okay. But later onwards, don't tell that that part was not clear. This fungus, I had a confusion. This
Ma'am,
fungal.
ma'am, can you say about the decaryon?
Dikaryon. Dikaryon. From the name itself, dikaryon. Karyon means nucleus. Di means two. So in certain class, as we said, as we already discussed, in two of the classes, there is a stage known as dikaryotic phase. Dikaryotic phase means where a dikaryon exists, which means the plasmogamy, when the protoplasm from two gametes, protoplasms from two different gametes or vegetative cells are fusing, the protoplasm will fuse, which is followed by the fusion of their nuclei. So two cells, each cell will be having a nucleus, and these two should fuse to form a diploid zygote. But before the formation of zygote, in certain class, there is a stage known as dikaryon, where the nuclei will exist as n plus n instead of 2n. You call it 2n when these two nuclei fuse and form single. Okay, but when these two are remaining separate as another two different nuclei, we call it as a dikaryotic stage. Yes, Vidur? But later, that is only temporarily for some time. But they will fuse and form a diploid zygote. In basidiomycetes, we learned that dikaryon will lead to the formation of basidium, where basidiospores are produced. Okay, three phases. You can check the three stages in sexual reproduction. That is plasmogamy, karyogamy, and meiotic division. There it is mentioned about dikaryotic phase. Okay, just refer your previous notes. Hope it is clear. Yes. So we are moving on to 5 minutes we have. We'll just have an introduction of plant kingdom. And plant kingdom, anyways, second chapter, next chapter is about plant kingdom. You will learn it in detail. Okay. So kingdom plantae or plant kingdom. You know, majority of the features you know. I don't have to say. Can you tell some features of the plant kingdom? Nandana, tell me what you know about plant kingdom. Any point you can say. Nandana?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Ah.
They're eukaryotic.
They are eukaryotic, correct.
Most of them contain chlorophyll.
You are not reading from anywhere, no? Okay. Good. They contain chlorophyll, the green pigment chlorophyll. They are, because of that, they are capable of
photosynthesis.
Photosynthesis. Any other point? Okay, leave it. Sania, another few points. Some other class. Sania, about plants you don't know? Plants. Mode of nutrition, she said.
Some are parasitic.
Yes, parasitic. From the picture, I think. Okay, some feed on insects, some are parasitic. Then, over?
Yes.
Only those many points you know. Okay. They are eukaryotic. You know what is meant by eukaryotic. They have a well-defined nucleus with a proper nuclear membrane. Then they are chlorophyll containing. Cell wall is having cellulose. Okay, plant cells are provided with a cellulose cell wall, which gives the plant cells rigidity and additional support. Then some are, in general, we say that they are autotrophic or they are capable of carrying out photosynthesis. But some of them, they are partially heterotrophic. For example, Venus flytrap, then bladderwort. There are some insectivorous plants. So why anybody, you know the reason why they feed on insects? Is it because just like in our case, when we have some vegetarian diet for a few days, you want for a change some non-veg. Is it because of that plants are also fed up of eating the vegetarian food and they are going for something non-veg? What is the reason? Why do they feed on these insects? You have learned it in class 7. Anybody? Punya, why it is necessary that they should feed on insects?
Because they need nitrogen.
Very good. And they are living in a soil which is deficient or lacking in nitrogen. So these plants, they live in soil where nitrogen is lacking. Otherwise, they could have absorbed it from the soil. So to compensate for nitrogen is very essential for the plants to survive. So just to compensate their nitrogen deficiency, they feed on insects. But at the same time, they are, you might have heard about pitcher plant also. At the same time, they are autotrophic. Then we have plant parasites. You can see in the picture Cuscuta. Cuscuta is a plant parasite. They chlorophyll content is very less. They twine around some other plant and they will depend upon that plant completely for their food. And they don't produce food on their own. They are pale in color. Chlorophyll component is very less. So Cuscuta. Then you have learned about, this was in 9th standard. The different classes or divisions we say, the different plant divisions. Are you remembering? Nevin, Lydia,
Huh?
Nandana, are you people remembering the plant divisions which you learned in class 9? Thallophyta, Bryophyta. Nobody is remembering. Pteridophyta. You people are not remembering? Thallophyta, Bryophyta, Pteridophyta, Angiosperms, Gymnosperms. Nobody is remembering. Anybody is remembering? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So these are the, and here it is mentioned as algae. Algae includes, or Thallophyta includes algae. Okay. So Thallophyta, Bryophyta, Pteridophyta. Okay. Thallophyta, Bryophyta, Pteridophyta, Gymnosperms and Angiosperms. But at another name you have learned these three. It comes under Cryptogame. Cryptogame. Whereas these two come under Phanerogame. These names are also familiar, no children? Check your 9th standard textbook. Cryptogame and Phanerogame. So we just started with the features of plants. We will be continuing in next class. So just repeating the points. It includes plants, plant kingdom. It goes without saying, the organisms included under plant kingdom. All the plants come under this, and they are eukaryotic. They have got a well-defined nucleus with a proper nuclear membrane. They contain chlorophyll. They carry out photosynthesis, and they have a cell wall made up of cellulose and mode of nutrition. Most of them, mainly they are autotrophic, but at the same time, some of them are partially heterotrophic. Some are feed on insects, some depend upon other plants. They lead a parasitic life. Example also I told you, Cuscuta is a plant parasite, but insectivorous plants are bladderwort, Venus flytrap, etc. Then the different classes of, divisions of plant kingdom also I said. Actually, plant kingdom has got two sub-kingdoms, that is Cryptogame and Phanerogame. Cryptogame includes Thallophyta, Bryophyta, Pteridophyta. Phanerogame includes Angiosperms and Gymnosperms. This you had learned already in class 9. So I don't think these names are totally new for you. Okay, children? Who will tell me the 5 divisions of plant kingdom? Evelyn, 5 divisions of plant kingdom.
Algae,
Algae,
Pteridophyta,
Pteridophyta,
Gymnosperms and
Bryophyta you said?
Gymnosperms and
Bryophyta,
Angiosperms.
Pteridophyta, then?
Yes, Gymnosperms, Angiosperms.
Okay. Tell me the name of a insectivorous plant, Nandana. An insectivorous plant.
Venus flytrap.
Okay, bladderwort, pitcher plant. Okay. Any doubts in today's portion? Complete silence. No doubt? Or nothing is there? Nothing you have understood? Say yes or no. You're very lazy to unmute and speak, no? I need an yes or no. Otherwise, I will make you continue.
No, ma'am.
No doubt.
No means you do not understand.
No, no doubt.
No doubts. Okay, thank you, children. At least a few responded. Thank you.